Normally I try to keep my video intros as short and sweet as possible, but in this case the intro is actually quite long. That is because before jumping into the actual test, exercise, experiment, I wanted to explain exactly how I'm going to do it, just in case you want to try, then you know exactly how to organize yours in order to mimic and replicate the same sort of scenario. I hope the very long intro doesn't bother you. Thank you for understanding. All right, welcome to Metatrons Academy. So today we're doing a little bit of a crazy exercise, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do 12 hours of listening in one of the target languages that I've been studying. Now, of course, you can do this with any language. It's not like restricted to any specific language. And for today, I've chosen Mandarin simply because it's my language number 5. And it is it's been the focus of my study recently. And I decided to try and do this to improve both my ability to understand Mandarin speakers, particularly when they speak fast, and also because I was actually curious, like how much can I improve if I put 12 hours non-stop of continuous listening? Now, I need to qualify that before we actually jump into it. So here's what I'm going to do. Of course, any exercise you do for language learning, you have to be cognizant of the goal you have, so what you want out of this exercise, and what the exercise is going to specifically provide for you in terms of language acquisition and skill improvement. So in this case, if what you want is to simply be able to understand people who speak French or English or Japanese, what have you, and then you do 12 hours of listening in a row, of course that's a little intensive, but I'm saying if you do that, but you say nothing, then while you may well improve, we'll see how much, we're here to gauge that and test it, but you'll improve your ability to listen. But a lot of people don't want to just be able to understand a foreign language. They want to be able to speak back and possibly speak fluently. So if that's what you want to do, what you need to do, to be doing, is what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to slightly modify this exercise. What I mean by that is rather than just listening for 12 hours, I'm going to speak back. So if you were to just listen, you'll get better at listening. You'll be like, oh yeah, no, starting to make sense and finally I'm getting used to the sounds. But then if you try and speak back, even if you do this for 6 months, yeah, you'll be great at understanding people. But when you try to speak back, even after 6 months of intense training, you'll sound like this. Bonjour, je parle... it's not going to work. I just did it with French. Language number 6. It's not going to make you improve your ability to speak if you don't actually speak. So, I know it sounds obvious, but it's not. A lot of people do a type of exercise. I read a lot. I don't know why I don't speak the language, because you're not speaking. So, what I'm going to do is, say, for example, and I'm going to switch back to Mandarin, but say, for example, that at one point during this exercise, I'm watching a video, and then someone asks a question. In fact, we'll be watching a movie as well, so it's very likely that in conversations, someone will ask a question. I will pause and answer the question every single time I hear a question. And of course, we're going to do a little bit of HSK practice, so I'm expecting quite a bit of questions from that session. So to give you an example, if at any point, I'm walking around the house, but I'm doing my listening, and I hear someone say something like, 今天我们去哪吃饭? Where are we going today for lunch or to eat? I'm going to pause and say, 今天我要去餐厅吃饭. 你要吃什么? What do you want to eat? And then, so today, sorry, I need to translate it for you. Today, I want to go to the restaurant to have a meal. What do you want to eat? Now, given I'm kind of an intermediate speaker in Mandarin, so I can already say these things relatively fast. That's not the necessary requirement for this kind of exercise. You, in fact, should start very slow. Remember, precision first, speed will come. If you try speed before you can have precision of pronunciation, you will create a mess. So you will not speak right. So first speak slowly. You could say, 今天你要去哪吃饭? And you can even make it slower. 桌子上有一台电脑，这是你的电脑吗? It's okay. But the more you do it, the more, of course, you can tell this is not the first time that I do this kind of exercise. I've been doing it for years. But it is the first time that I do it for 12 hours in a row. How is this going to look? So what I'm going to do is I'll mix and match. I'll watch a few streamers play in Mandarin and listen to them. And as I say, whenever even if they don't ask a question, they say something like, 这是咖啡店, 这是咖啡厅. So I'll kind of comment with them, whether it's a question or not. I'll do that if they say this place is really clean, 很干净. I'll say, 对啊, 这个地方很干净. I'll be part of it. Then I watch some videos like tutorials on Mandarin. Then I will, if I go, I'm not going to sit at the desk all day because I need to do things. If at one point I need to clean the house a little bit, I'll do that, but bring my phone like this and keep listening, or put it somewhere in the corner at high volume, keep listening. And then if I am, say, going outside, feeding the dogs, all of this will always have a background of Mandarin. Now, I do want to move as many words from passive vocabulary to active vocabulary. And so, as I say, I will be speaking them and I will be taking notes. This is not just going to be a passive, it's going to be very active. So I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write, oh, what did they say? I don't know this word. I'll stop, I'll look it up, and I'll write it down. It's a new word, great. So I'll do that. And another thing so that I can review it later. And then one more thing that I will do is that I'll try to choose comprehensible input that is slightly above my level. I might also do a little bit, if I start to get tired, I might actually revert to something easier at one point to maintain the flow. But in general, comprehensive, something that I can understand 60 to 70%. So I'm still missing a chunk, but I can't follow along. Because if it's something that I do not understand at all, then I'm not going to be able to learn much. But if I do understand a lot of it, and I'm missing words, then I could figure out what they mean through the context, and that will help me remember them. Okay, let's get started.
这是厨房，这是厕所，哦，都是一体式的。这边呢，这是衣柜。
什么声音？什么声音？
怎么是音乐？
怎么是音乐
？What?
Hey, watch this. Wanna go out? Hey, let's go. Okay, so right now I'm doing a little bit of a different exercise. I'm listening to an HSK video where they're like teaching me sentences and some words. So I'm just gonna listen and repeat, and that's that. 同学们，同学们，我在学校工作。Okay, so we are 1 hour in, and I think it's looking good. Half an hour was with the phone downstairs as I was having breakfast with my wife before she left because she had to go out with her dad. And so we did that. Poor thing, she had to like talk to me, but at the same time there was this Mandarin going. Anyways, it was fun. And then the second half an hour I did here at the desk, and then I was just walking around a little bit, and I thought maybe I should kind of, like professional YouTuber that I am, I forgot that I've got to give you a little bit of a update. So first hour is looking good. I'm actually feeling motivated because 1 hour, and because I keep speaking, I feel like I'm getting a lot out of this, which is fantastic. I wish I could do this every single day. I mean, I can, but not for 12 hours. But still, even if you can do this for 1 or 2 hours every day, I feel like there's going to be a massive improvement. Yeah, because of shadowing and echoing, which I am, of course, using as exercises. I'll tell you more about it later. For now, I'm just going to get back to it. Thank you. Oh, by the way, among the things that I learned today was the word 电闸, which means like electric switch or a circuit breaker, because there was a situation where, you know how it is in horror games, you get a blackout, and then, you need to go and look for this, so you can, yeah, so pretty cool. I mean, a little bit of an unexpected word, but hey, if we have a blackout and I need to say, hey, where is the freaking breaker in Mandarin, now I know how to say it. 电闸. I'm going to repeat it a few times. Of course, I did when he said it. I repeated it a few times. 电闸, 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 电闸. 好的. 我的家的电闸在哪儿? Where is the breaker in my house? Let's go. All right, guys, let me turn on the lights again. It's not like I leave the lights on all day. We are 2 hours in, and what's interesting is that I had to do some work, but I still had the Mandarin in the background, and I spoke a little less than in the first hour. I spoke a lot more. In the second hour, I spoke less because I was checking emails and things like that, but I did say I'm checking my emails at one point. In fact, I found a little section where they were using that kind of expression so that it made sense for me to listen to it while I was doing it. I thought it was good to contextualize it. So far, I'm not tired at all. I'm having a great time. I'm a mess. I'm having a really good time with this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to post on my main channel, because in the meantime I had to upload the video for today. So I'm going to make the thumbnail. I'm going to post on my main channel. Then I'm going to go downstairs. So far, the first 2 hours, except for the first 30 minutes, which I did downstairs with the wife, an hour and a half at the desk while I was doing other things. Second monitor, boom, constant Mandarin. Now we're going to switch to the phone. So I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to film myself in a little bit. I'm going to take the dogs out and might even make food. All of which while I'm doing my listening practice. Let's go. This is great. I'm having a great time. All right, back here. So maybe if you speak on the microphone. Sorry about that. So anyways, a couple of things that stuck in my head, I believe, is the expression to say my head hurts, which is 我头疼. And it's one of those things that was in my passive vocabulary because I could always understand it if someone says it, but I couldn't really use it that easily. I would often forget. Not only that, but I heard them say it in a different way, which is 我头痛. So instead of 我头疼, 我头痛, apparently they're both usable, they're both two different ways to say my head hurts, and I believe I've gained both now because I could say them easily to use. So this is good. This is going great. We're 6 hours in, by the way, and it does not feel like it's been 6 hours at all. It's probably because I've been busy, been doing things, I've been making thumbnails while I was listening and speaking back. Very good exercise so far. I feel like it flows better. The language absolutely flows better. I can see, obviously, in one single day, it's not going to make the change of your life, particularly if you're an intermediate, particularly if you're a beginner. If you're an intermediate student, though, this is pretty good. And I do feel that I feel more fluent. I'm not fluent yet. Obviously, it's not something you can do in one day. If, however, I keep doing this every single day, not 12 hours, I can't do it, but if I do as many hours as possible every day, then just speak and repeat and then take down the notes, write the new words, review them, 复习生词, review the new words. 比如说明天我可以复习生词. So, for instance, I could review the new words tomorrow after I sleep. 睡觉后, after I sleep. I feel that this will be extremely beneficial, but you have to speak the whole time. Like, I'm adamant about that. You want to learn how to speak a language, you got to speak it. Even when you do your listening. Listening alone is okay, but if you only do that... Anyways, 我们继续吧。今天我们一起学习韩语，我觉得非常好。再见。
我和儿子
他不是你的儿子，他是你的女儿。
吃米饭。
不是，
吃米饭。
他不在吃米饭，他在喝牛奶。那是一杯牛奶。Okay. 4 hours in. Keeps going. It's still going. Okay, 1 second. All right, so this is going very well. Let's get the dog. 1 second, because you can actually hear it. Maybe it's a little confusing like that. 你好，你很可爱，你很可爱。Come here. Good boy. Okay. So, 4 hours in. 4 hours in. Feeling good. And I've been speaking a lot. Not tired. I have to say, though, it's probably because I'm having a good time. That really helps. In fact, you should always try to watch or listen to stuff that you like. Of course, this last one that I've been doing like an hour of HSK vocabulary and sentences. Is a little less interesting than like watching a movie. So probably next, for hour number 5, I'll probably pick a movie and watch it and repeat. Am I right? Are we right? But nice. And then I'll go back to gaming because I just enjoy that. It's my favorite. It's my favorite when they scream. Because it's always 恐怖游戏, horror games. But you see, like, just because this has just become my own vocabulary now because I heard them say it so much. 恐怖游戏, 恐怖游戏, 恐怖游戏. Like, you can't forget it. But that's because I say it, though. I say it. I don't just hear it. I say it. So because if I only heard it, if I only listened, I would understand it, but I wouldn't be able to use it this easily. So my dog agrees. I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'll see you for, I guess, hour number 5. We'll see how to spice it up a little bit. 再见. Okay, so right now, 现在, I was about to say 现在. Man, this is working. So right now I'm at my desk again, but we're gonna walk around a little bit, just get a little exercise, I suppose. And I'm listening to a video of a Chinese lady who is explaining to me movie plots. So I'm gonna be repeating a little bit whenever I hear something I understand. Of course, repeating something I don't understand doesn't make any sense, but repeating stuff that I do understand but wouldn't be able to use is a good way to go from passive to active and also kind of solidify it in my head. So I'm just gonna do that. Let's go. 很不一样。你看的时候，中国电影，对对对，我很喜欢中国电影，挺不错的。然后，我觉得非常好，这个电影看起来很好看。我的工作，你在哪儿工作？我觉得很有意思，但是现在我没有时间，我不要看电影。现在我需要工作。7 hours almost, probably a little above that, a little over that. So I had a shower in the meantime, which is 洗澡 in Mandarin. Double checked it. And what's cool is that what I did, particularly when I was, drying my hair, which takes forever, and it's 吹头发. What I did is, to dry your hair, is I put up a couple of videos that were telling you all of the vocabulary you need to express the idea of having a shower, shampoo, body wash, and all that kind of stuff. And I just let it play while I was doing all this. At one point I had to keep my phone right next to me because otherwise I couldn't hear it because I was using the hairdryer. But here we are. So I did that and it was kind of fun. Then I took a break, a small break, because my father-in-law came to visit, and so I didn't want it to be like disrespectful that he's speaking to me. Hey Raf, how you doing? And I'm like, 现在我在学习汉语. I didn't want to do that, so I kind of stopped. Like a little break is not a bad idea, though. You should take break. Let's get back to it. Okay, that's the day. And you know what's crazy? I feel like I want to continue. So the reality is, I want to stop the recording. Well, I'm going to stop considering part of this test, but I am going to keep going because I actually got invested into this last video that I was watching of this guy. And I've been writing down probably a total of, let's see, because it's in between pieces of paper and my phone and a couple of sticky notes, 35 to 40 words. And you might think, oh, but that's not much considering it actually is, because these are the words that were completely new to me. I had never heard them before, I had no idea what they meant, and so 35 to 40 words is actually a lot. Now, of course, I don't know them, so I'm going to put them into my flashcard routine, I'm going to put them into my repetition routine, I'm going to start using them in order to acquire them, because the thing is, these are not just words, and this is the thing I really liked about this, these are not just words that I just picked up from a dictionary or a list. No, I've seen them used in context, I've looked them up, and they make sense to me. I understand them now in the context. It's just that possibly they would be, because I rewatched the same thing quite a few times to make sure that this is not something I'm doing because I want to impress you by saying, look, I did 150 words, I did 300 words, yeah, but then I'm not going to remember anything. No, I decided to stick to 35 to 40 tops, because these, every time I would rewatch the same thing a few times, then I would create a sort of spaced repetition exercise whereby I would watch something completely different, and after 30, 40 minutes, perhaps an hour, I'll go back to that section and see if I still recognize the word in the wild, and then that kind of exercise multiple times. And of course, every time I tried to say it to get used to the idea of producing the sound myself. So the 35 to 40 words are new, and I'll try to acquire them in the next maybe 6-7 days of practice to just actually include them, not only in my passive vocabulary, but my active one. I also managed to review a lot of words, though. A lot of words. And of course, I didn't write it down, but I would say a lot. Like, very impressive. That was the best part. And also, I got to speak all day. And really, that felt the closest that I've ever been when it comes to recreating how it feels when you live in another country. Because remember, when I picked up my English, it's because I moved to the UK. I picked up Japanese because I moved to Japan. But when it comes to Mandarin, is really the language that I'm trying to reach fluency in without having lived. So recreating a little bit, from drawing from those experiences and remembering what worked when I was living abroad and kind of interaction that I had on a daily basis with both customers, friends, and the like, and trying to recreate that in this environment. And really, you can just speak on your own, but then you'll only use your own level, and it creates a plateau. Whereas if I try and repeat what someone with a higher level than me says, then I am bound to be exposed to the new structures, patterns, and vocabulary. And in fact, it's good for pronunciation as well. And that's how you really grow, because you're learning it in the correct way. You're not trying to build your own sentences perhaps in a way that is not natural because you're using your own language as a matrix. Instead, you are gaining, sort of stealing it from natives. So that's what they say in that scenario. I'm going to say it myself that way, and that creates an authentic version of the language that then you use, rather than this weird skin that we sometimes put when we try to build the language on ourselves without the experience of having interacted with natives, which is necessary. And since right now I don't have like Chinese people living with me like I used to when I was a student, then this is really the next best thing. When it comes to the listening aspect, which is also important, that's the part that helps the most. I think I've corrected a couple of tone mistakes, words that I thought they had like a second tone, but it was a third, and that kind of stuff, and the like. And then it's interesting because the first time I tried to listen to this streamer, I was like maybe understanding 20%. Because he was speaking really fast. But I did wonder, am I not understanding much because I don't know the words, or is it because he speaks really fast? Listening to him for hours in a row, I switched to different people as well, but he's the one I focused in the most, actually made a massive difference. And also doing reruns, because then I had an opportunity to listen to it again and really try to focus, try to get my ear used to it. And by the end of this, at night, as I was rewatching for the 9th time the same video, I follow now about 70%. So the problem wasn't that I didn't have the words. The problem was that I needed more practice when it comes to my ability to expose myself to the language, so that I can it's as if the language it's as if the language slows down a little bit the more you listen to it. So I think it's a very good, worthwhile exercise. But then again, as I was saying earlier on, if I only had done listening, I would have felt it was incomplete. Whereas due to the fact that I spoke back, repeated, echoed, did some shadowing while they were speaking, I would speak immediately after or together with the speaker to try and maintain a good... And of course, again, I understand it's an intermediate, at least intermediate to kind of advanced kind of exercise when you do it at the speed that I did it, but you can absolutely do it slowly. You don't have to speak fast, remember that. And even if you say it very slowly, you say it today, you say it tomorrow, you repeat it again the day after, you consolidate this, it becomes an experience, and this experience makes these words stick into your head, and they are correct because you're learning them from natives. This was a phenomenon. I am thrilled, to the point that I'm not even tired, because I did it as I was doing other things. And I feel it's very beneficial, and I'm going to continue doing it. So I'm going to do this every day. I can't do 10 hours a day every day. I have other things that I need to do. I need to film, I need to stream, so I can't do it. But I will make sure to do probably at least 1 hour in the morning and then 2 hours at night every day. And as I do this, I'll try to do it for a whole month, and then I'll report back. So you'll see another video of me saying I listened for 3 hours in a row, for 3 hours every day for an entire month. here is what happened. So I'll report back. It'll take a month. Today is the 9th. Probably around the 9th or the 10th, I'll post this next month, and we'll see how it goes. But I truly believe that due to the fact that I get to speak a lot too, I will be noticeably more fluent, and my speech will be more correct and richer in vocabulary. This is a great exercise. I'm very excited about it, and it was absolutely worthwhile. Thank you for watching. Give it a try, and let me know if you do, the sort of results you had in the comments. Bye. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.